Next, let's talk about how to make short videos or how to run channels. Before this, we need to know what WeChat channels exactly is. Done. WeChat channels is usually defined as a platform for everyone to record and create. The point here is why everyone. I just mentioned that WeChat is the largest application in China in terms of user volume, so we hope that everyone can record and create their own life and work on WeChat, which is also a window to understand others in the world. As we all know, WeChat was a relatively closed system when it was limited to 5,000 people in moments or even the address book. Now, more than 5,000 people can be added to friends. However, the function of chat is only left to be a relatively closed system. As for channels, it usually opens a window into the unknown world in your WeChat ecology so that you can get to know a lot of content creators and bloggers that you don't know. We have also started the DM or direct messaging function as well, so you can get in touch with these content creators through messaging, which is more or less like Sina Weibo.
然后我们其实也开通了私信功能，其实你可以跟这些内容创作者通过私信来取得联系啊，这一点功能或多或少有点像微博啊。
When you open channels, you'll find three columns called Following, Friends Liked, and Recommendation. Just now, I have mentioned that Friends Liked is usually the entry attracting the largest traffic in the whole channels, which is also the main content distribution mechanism of channels that distinguishes it from TikTok. As we all know, what TikTok's content distribution mechanism is once you have watched a video, then TikTok would consider that you are interested in the content after you played it, and it will continue to recommend the same or similar content to you through its algorithm. So some people used to say, I randomly just watched a video about cars, but after watching it, I found that information about the car was constantly pushed to me. It's because the application found out you finished playing the video and it thought that you'd like this kind of content, which resulted in it being pushed back to you. The algorithmic mechanism, to a certain extent, tends to create a kind of confidence reduction, for you have been receiving the same kind of information all the time. In fact, the content distribution mechanism of WeChat is mainly based on social communication, which means that we believe getting information from friends would be a major channel for you to obtain information. And actually, Zhang Xiaolong, the founder of WeChat, once said that from ancient times to the present, the main channel for obtaining information is actually social content distribution. In ancient times, people exchanged information through a tea house or something which can be in a social scene. It's just that this distribution is now on your phone and you obtain it through your friends. Your friends click top stories on WeChat and then you know what people are viewing, what people with similar professional backgrounds and similar interpersonal relationships are viewing, and you can see what interests you so that you can go to view what's useful to you. Generally speaking, the way we get information from ancient times to the present has been just like this. Information is not just obtained through reading and learning. The social content distribution mechanism under the contents of channels in the WeChat ecology is another major one in modern times. There's no need to talk more about following. Following is what everyone has known in official accounts. When you're interested in the content of the official account, you'll click follow. However, we will slowly find that we have followed hundreds of official accounts that we will not open every day. And the main way we obtain information is still to see what others repost in moments. Therefore, this also proves that the main channel for people to obtain information, as I said just now, is actually to see what others are paying attention to and then get information from others' recommendations and must-buys. Therefore, at present, the following column gets the least clicks among the three columns, leading to some bloggers from the channel's ecology complaining, "Oh, why is it so hard to get a fan now?" Some people who have run official accounts will recall, and in those days, I had already had 100,000 fans after running official accounts for half a year. Now, why just 10 to 20,000 for the same half of a year? Actually, 10 to 20,000 fans in this channel system is a very good result, because now that the psychological threshold for people to click follow has increased, it's not that easy for them to follow anymore after experiencing the official accounts period. They would rather obtain information through their friends' shares. In fact, for the current channel's bloggers, it's not necessary to have such a lot of fans to prove the influence. While we have discussed many industrial insiders that for a blogger from either channels or official accounts, he or she can still feed himself or herself through fans without doing normal work on the premise of having 1,000 die-hard fans. 1,000 die-hard fans is enough, so it does not necessarily mean that we should attract a lot of fans for working on the content. The column on the right is called Recommendations, where it will use the mechanisms of the algorithm. It will recommend the content deemed as high quality by our machines. The recommendations are based on the labels of some of your content, your location, and whether the images including the left column are clear, and the interests of the people who have browsed the content. Because from the user side, people can choose to be not interested in a certain content or a certain account. If you have a low completion rate for a certain content, or if you click unconcerned on it, the machine may decide that the content is not suitable for you and will not recommend it to you again. Therefore, the mechanism of the algorithm will also be used in the recommendations column. So the content distribution mechanism for the whole channels is a relatively comprehensive recommendation relationship which integrates several kinds of this recommendation method. And at the same time, we will also expose some topics that we are officially operating on the recommendations column. Okay, user portraits and channels. I heard from a friend recently saying, "Oh, my father and mother, the old people are viewing the channels. It seems that the audiences of channels are very old." This depends on the overall user portrait of WeChat because WeChat actually displays the whole Chinese population on it. So the WeChat user portrait is really what the whole Chinese population is like. We don't really care whether WeChat's users are older than those from TikTok or any other platforms because we have covered all the users in China, and as WeChat is aging, China is also aging, which is an inevitable trend. Hence, the user portrait on channels is basically the same as that of WeChat, but the video watcher group that is probably relatively active is between the age of 20 and 45, and there actually isn't much difference in geographic coverage. Urban and rural users from first, second, third, and fourth tier cities are viewing it, and men are a little bit more than women, and the active time is basically the same as that of WeChat. In other words, mobile application users are basically enjoying the same timetable, that is, after dinner, before going to bed, and in the morning. Basically, it's the time period that you're relatively free to watch videos as a user. After only a short period of 10 months, the channels has now covered numerous categories of content, including all of these, and what are the most popular ones? First of all, the trending content, which is the news content. We find that on short video platforms, the content of news is always in demand. Users are sure to have a rigid demand for authoritative news and information. The second type is eating and playing. People like to share some of their videos of eating and playing. The sharers feel happy to share, while the viewers may find it to be helpful for them to choose where to eat and play next time. So this type of content possesses a very good interactivity. Some people may complain, TikTok has beautifying filters, but channels does not, and it makes my content seem too real, and now I don't like looking at myself. Or users have browsed a lot of interesting videos, and after seeing the comparison of anchors between his or her original and filtered appearance, everyone is surprised. WeChat does not add the filter function, instead emphasizing on showing more real life. Then there's another type of content, knowledge sharing, which takes a larger part in channels. I heard a joke not long ago, saying that some middle-aged men suddenly like to appear on camera, but weren't they also the ones who only wrote articles years ago because they were ugly? Why are they so brave to show their appearance before the camera now?
然后还有一类内容是这个分享就是知识的这类内容，也是在视频号里面比较多。前段时间也有一个笑话，就是说那些那个中年大叔好像现在突然间都喜欢开始出镜了，然后说你们当年不就是因为自己长得丑才去写文章嘛，现在怎么都开始这么勇敢的开始出镜了？
Indeed, we have found that after channels was launched, those with some qualifications who did not open accounts on TikTok all open accounts on channels to share their industrial experience and life experience with others. So this type of content is found quite a lot on the platform. Some of their accounts may rank middle level on TikTok but top tier on channels. There's an educational blogger named Joel Daiye. I don't know if you've watched his videos, but he doesn't have a lot of fans on TikTok, but has crowds of fans on channels. Emotional resonance, which is also popular on channels as well as popular on other platforms. Liu Xiao mentioned earlier working on night audio content and has been playing an emotional blogger's card, and so does the one called Du Yang. This will be mentioned later, but there's another content which is the visual enjoyment of aesthetics. This type of content is also very popular on channels too.
在这类内容在视频号里也非常的受欢迎。